Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Hi, this is my name is Sean Harris. This is for Speech 1311. This is the persuasive speech. And what I'm going to do is the purpose is to try to persuade you. So at the end of the video or at the end of the presentation, you will either be persuaded or cast some doubt in your own thoughts on how things appear to be. The example and the lesson that I'm going to choose to use will be from the idea of excessive force within the realm of a police officer and also in the realm of a military officer. Having a background in these areas, it will be from a perspective that everything isn't always as it seems. Also, while we're doing it, I'm going to ask you to become something that you would not normally think of, and that is a hostage. And being a hostage, your emotions and your thoughts are not always together. And if you suffer any traumatic abuse, sexually, physically, you're really not going to think clearly. Now, I want you to imagine that as you are the hostage and you're rescued by a group of individuals such as myself, you are being escorted out and you see before you leave the hostage taker laying on the ground. And as he is laying on the ground, you hear a loud bang. You didn't notice any fight or skirmish before he was laying on the ground. You just hear a loud bang. You turn to see a pool of blood by the hostage taker and then swept or forcefully escorted right out of the area. The question now becomes, what do you do? The question now becomes, was the force excessive? And how do you view it? It's easy to say, yes, it was excessive and those involved need to be punished. But remember, you were the hostage. You were abused physically, mentally, and sexually. Are you thinking clearly right now? Let's begin. So all facts are not clear as we choose. Answers are based on our emotions and connections with the situation, as I just gave you some background. You've been hurt. This person has put their hands on you, tried to take your life away, tried to diminish any and every good thought you ever had, and now you're told to write a report on what you witnessed. What would you write? Sometimes things do not appear as though they are. You wish to do the right thing, and you should do the right thing. The question is, what is the right thing? What is excessive force in your own mind? How far would you go to save a loved one? And what would you risk? Would you risk someone else's freedom for a hostage taker? Someone who abused you, hurt you, demoralized you? Versus someone who carries a shield, such as you see in this picture, with dents in it from small caliber bullet rounds, putting their neck on the line. Someone like myself versus someone who wanted to hurt you. Already, you're probably thinking, yeah, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to write the report and whatever happens, happens. But remember, we saved you. Wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here to tell your story. So, question, how would you feel if that was you? Force. The next question, did you really hear a loud bang? Did you witness a pool of blood by the hostage taker? Are you assuming that maybe the hostage taker was abused or even met an untimely demise even after he was subdued? Is this excessive in your ideology? Is this excessive by what you hear on the news and what people report? Is this excessive by any other standards that you may have seen on any other format? After all, did not someone like myself come and save you? Was it really excessive? And of course, what would you remember? Think about it. What do you really remember? You've been traumatized, abused, hurt, sexually, physically, mentally, unstable. But we put our neck on the line to come and save you. Would you really want to turn something in? Do you really remember everything clearly? Some things are best left alone. You know why some things are best left alone? Because you'll be safe from those that wish to harm you. Now take a good look at that picture. You'll see more than just one predator. So ladies and gents, I close with this. Always do what's right. But I bet you at some point in time while we were doing this presentation, you thought, man, I just got all of these things happen to me. I'm not finna write nothing against these guys that saved my life. And if you think like that, then I just persuaded you. Speech 1311, Persuasive. I'm out.